Hello YouTube. The last time we talked, I told you I became the CEO of OpenAI. Now being rich ain't all it's cracked up to be. Apparently there's this thing called climate change that my ChatGPT is making worse. So I had to join my fellow billionaires in making my bunker for when that happens. Instead of, giving a shit and making our stuff eco-friendly. I called up this clown from this company called VIVA MAS or some dumbass name like that. And he told me that I could spend millions up to billions for my own private bunker. But he tried to sell me on other plans to have fellow rich people and doctors and stuff live in the bunker. So you actually think I want to live with other people? I barely want to live with my niece and Kara and their family.
Well, if one of you gets sick, having a doctor would be useful. And with our private community, you get doctors, security people that can afford $50 to $2,000. It's safer.
Yeah, but it's also North Dakota, right? I'd be living with people that could only afford North Dakota bunkers.
Like you?
Yeah, I ain't trying to deal with bitches like me. There's no room for more than one bitch. And I'm that bitch.
Call me when you know what you want.
Rude. Terrible customer service. Every time I checked in on the remaining spots available on the company Viva Mas, it slowly dawned on me. This burning question. How do I make sure I still have access to my bunker once the apocalypse happens? What happens if by the time I get there, my private security force decides to lock me out so they have more resources for themselves? Or even worse, what if they do let me in, but they don't treat me like I deserve the majority of the resources? Maybe they decide to conserve water and not fill up a giant swimming pool in the underground bunker. I don't want to live somewhere I can't live it up luxuriously. So instead of using Google or ChatGPT to find my answer, real quick, I don't use ChatGPT because in the terms of service for it, I specifically made it so only the users can be sued if anything goes wrong. And if I never use it, I'll never have to pay money for lawsuits. It'll be, you clowns that use ChatGPT, Kind of smart, huh? Anyway, because I couldn't use Google or my own company, I went to this psychic girl named Madame Mamase Mumakusa or whatever the hell. But she just said to call her Mama. And I asked her, Mama, what'll happen if we actually have to use these bunkers? She told me the following. There will come a time when the climate crisis is too great. There is a last-ditch effort to reverse the destruction, but you and your billionaire friends retreat to the bunkers just in case. You all go down to orientation. Some clown claps his hands to get your attention.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? We have enough food to last us for 2 years. We'll all have to stick to a diet of 1,500 calories, but if we all stick to those regulations, we should have enough food to last us for 2 years.
I eat 3,600 calories a day!
My gains will be ruined!
Some of us need to eat more than that.
We paid you a lot of money, and this is what you got.
If those ideals do not reach your standard, you're always free to leave. Now, please be civil, do not harm anyone, and sooner or later we should all be able to go back to our glorious lives as they were above ground.
The first week goes relatively fine, but eventually the greed you all exhibited on land spurs back up again. Those with strength and basic fighting skills fight weaker people for more food. They can't survive on 1,500 calories. Mark Zuckerberg targets those in the tech field. He needs that barbecue ray sauce. Hold up, I'm in the tech field. Yes, he fights you. Do I win? Well, you do pull a Mike Tyson and bite his ear off. But you do lose. You'll have less food, but he has less ear. Who really wins? It's kind of one of those philosophical questions that can be debated. Fortunately for you, your family comes through. Your robot, the co-founder of AI, Kara, successfully steals resources back, and you and Katie eat more than 1,500 calories. Oh, hell yeah. That's what's up. Don't celebrate just yet. One night, 30% of your fellow billionaires are killed off. This incident was so scary, the ones in charge of the bunker did the unthinkable. They actually turned the security cameras on and strained the generator by 3%, more than when they were turned off. The CEO of Viva Mas had to deal with a 4% decrease in warmth for his jacuzzi. Oh my god, that's terrible. Was my jacuzzi affected? You didn't have one. Anyway, because of the cameras being on, quality of life diminished. You were all constantly watched, but you did have 1,950 calories now. But because of the increase, some people's gains went back up. Even though all of you now had a reasonable amount, it was not enough for some people. There were thieves in the night, but they bribed security with the percentage of the food and water they stole. Eventually, someone pretended to be asleep and caught a thief in the act and killed them. All of a sudden, the evidence recorded mattered. Security scrubbed any evidence of the thieves taking food, and of course footage of them being bribed. With no direct evidence, the person was brought in front of everyone to be executed.
You got rid of all of the evidence. If the authority can take bribes, how do we trust him to be fair?
They were unalived. From then on, people united into different groups. The tech bros, the oil barons, whatever sliver of connection was formed into a group. And even though they all stole from each other in the past, they formed a coalition. Each group had their warriors. The rest of the group was expected to give up a portion of their rations to them, so they can be able to fight the rival groups off if they try to steal. Since the authority was unwilling to be impartial, they also try to have their own moles in the security personnel, so they can know what other groups are planning. The CEO of VIVA MAS ordered his personnel to stop distributing food and resources. He was overthrown, and his life was no mas. The final year was chaos. The groups all tried to be in charge of resource distribution. One sore loser decided that if they couldn't have control, nobody could, and they compromised the food storage. The dwindling resources were cut in half. In response, the greatest bloodbath of the bunker occurred. You, Megan, and Katie were able to survive. Megan had a secret stash of food hidden away. There wasn't enough to last the whole year. Eventually, there were only 30 of you left. 3 months away from the 2 years. You had lost visual of the outside years ago. You were low on food, but were unsure if the gamble was worth opening the bunker. Eventually, you all took the risk and exited the bunker, only to find out the world was already better after the first initial year. The people who survived had destroyed all the equipment you used to own and turned to cleaner alternatives. You were all livid, but no one gave a shit. So, am I still the CEO of OpenAI? There is no OpenAI. I just told you. Everybody scrapped the stuff that caused the climate crisis, and since you clowns weren't around to stop them, they were able to dismantle everything. Well, that's some bullshit. I survived all that just to not be rich? Pretty much, yeah. Maybe I should have my own bunker, huh? Seems like too much trauma. I left her shady-ass house and called up VIVA MAS. I'd like your single-family bunker plan, and I want 2,500 calories. None of that 1,500 calories bullshit.
How did you hear about that?
It doesn't matter. Give me more calorie cheapskates.
Fine.
Also, I need one more thing.
What?
Go on YouTube, search up Killer Mac 626, click on a video, then like and subscribe.